And thanks for allowing me to present this morning. I was just noticing the tagline on the 1 million cup sign, building communities. That's what we're working on too. So I'm very excited to share with you what we're doing. We've been very quiet about what we've been doing, and it's time that we start promoting it and talking about it and spreading it. By way of background, I'm a Twin Cities native. I got my bachelor's degree in computer science from the University of Minnesota back when you had to crank computers. I've got my master's from the Carlson School in Business Administration, and I've completed my coursework for a PhD in health informatics, focusing on home telecare. How do we get telehealth to the home? Okay. Been with companies like Honeywell, Gelco Corporation, which was acquired by GE Capital. And then about 25 years ago, I joined United Health Group when it was a much smaller company than it is today. And I created and directed their advanced technologies operations, and I became their international CIO. So at a time when managed care was emerging and they were trying to figure out how do we leverage information technology, I like to think that our work helped establish United as the technology leader of managed care. So that was many years ago. By the way, if you're familiar with Caring Bridge, I was on the board of Caring Bridge for 6 years, a great organization, and I was on the board of DARTS, a Dakota County senior services organization, for 6 years also. Okay, enough about me. Let me talk about community oxygen. This all started about, 1996. I had just left United Health Group. I was looking out at the future, thinking about what I want to be doing, where I might be able to help, what impact I might be able to have. And it really started with two questions. First of all, I recognized I'm a baby boomer. There's a whole hell of a lot of us, and we're going to start overwhelming the systems. And I don't know about you, but I don't want to be forced to move out of my home. We built a beautiful home in Eden Prairie. We've been there ever since. I want to be able to stay there as I age. And how can I do that as opposed to being forced into assisted living or other kinds of worse yet, a nursing home, because I'm not able to engage with the community in an appropriate way, okay? So back then I started thinking about, okay, all of us baby boomers and everyone else, how are we going to be able to stay longer in our own homes and live a quality life, a healthy life, as best as possible at the lowest possible cost? Start thinking about that. Also, because my background in healthcare and my interest in telehealth, telemedicine, I was looking at, okay, we've had the tools for decades to be able to have a televisit with a clinician, a doctor, a nurse, a pharmacist, a therapist. Why isn't it happening? And how do we get there? And how do we make it ubiquitous so that everybody from their own home or wherever they happen to be could have a video visit or engage in other ways with their clinicians to have the best possible care in their own home when possible? Okay. Those two questions have kind of driven this over the years. And so over the years, since 1996, I've been cooking these concepts, and I know a lot of very smart people, and they've helped move this along. They've added ideas, concepts, critiques, outright criticisms, and it's gotten better and better. And we created a predecessor company that in 7 communities tested out pieces of this concept over the years, over the last 9-10 years. A year ago, we created Commun 2, Community Oxygen, which is our go-to-market company, and it is a fresh start with based upon all the lessons learned over that time frame. Okay, and we created 2 things. The first thing we're calling a super app, and the second thing is a unique community deployment model. Our super app, if you look at your phone, you look at your tablet, you probably have dozens of apps on there, each of them unique, none of them working with each other, each with their own user interface, most of them with little or no support. Okay, for somebody who's got limited abilities, maybe they're older, they're less tech savvy, how can we make that all easier, better, integrated, and make it usable, consumable? And how can we bring it to everybody across the community? That's what we're calling a super app. It has a lot of the functions of many kinds of apps integrated into one very usable, consumable system. And I'll show you a little bit about that. And then our unique community utility model. I'll give you a little preview of where I'm going with this. We are currently in deployment in Michigan in 3 cities, 3 communities actually. Flint, Traverse City, and Gaylord, Michigan. Actually, countywide, we're doing this there in Otsego County, Michigan. This is a model to get everybody in the community engaged, not just the citizens, but the organizations, all the consumer-facing organizations in a community, so that if I want to have a video visit, for example, with my, let's say, 4 grandkids anywhere in the world, I can do that easily without a lot of help. If I want to have a video visit with my doctor, my nurse, my clergy, a social worker, a retailer, so they can take me around the store and show me things. How can we do that? That's our community deployment model. It's to get the community engaged. So, oh, and by the way, before I go on, all these folks participated in our pilot in Otsego County, which was in 2015. They all have great personal stories about how they benefit from this system and why they think it's great for humanity. Let's put it that way. Okay. If I had time, I would show you their video clips. It may be a little difficult to see, but that circle with the 8 sectors, that dates back to 1996. First started thinking about all these sectors of life that are important to being able to have a happy, healthy, safe, aging experience, or just a quality life experience. We've looked at all 8 of those. We've looked at how we can help in all 8 of those, and that's what we're doing. So, Communal 2, let's talk about the super app. It's intended to engage people and get them to want to use it. If you look at that circle, the sections that are in purple, or whatever color that is, those are high interest kind of sectors. People engage with a technology or an app because of that. The ones in green are high, they may also be appealing for people, but they are high benefit, high value sectors, like healthcare, telehealth, okay? So I might engage with this super app because it lets me have a video visit with 4 grandkids at the same time, or because it lets me read ebooks or play games or do what we call virtual travel, where I can click into the Monterey Bay Aquarium and watch the jellyfish, or go out to Italy and watch the Rialto Bridge live. Lots of features in there, but then I know how to use it when I have a telehealth need, or I need to have a visit with my lawyer, my accountant, and maybe engage my daughter out in California in the same call. Okay, so that's the strategy. And over the years, I've learned that in order for people to embrace any new technology, you have to hit 5 things. It has to be easy enough for them to do it. It has to be safe enough. They feel safe using it. It has to be compelling. They have to have a reason to use it. It has to be supported so that they can get help when they need it. And it has to be affordable, either free or affordable. Any technology, I don't care whether it's air conditioning, microwave ovens, automatic transmissions, all these things had to be addressed somehow. And that applies in particular to getting older adults or people with limited abilities to embrace technology. But it applies to all of us too. Okay? So it's a single user interface for a wide variety of functions, single sign-on. It does support significant family connectivity and engagement, and we found a viral spread as a result of this, not just in our pilot communities, but then to family and friends all over the world. And it creates a community standard. So in these 3 communities to begin with, and in other communities that we go into, and by the way, I would love to do this in Indian Prairie as our first Minnesota community, or the adjoining communities, it's a standard for the community. And so now we don't have the issue of, well, I'd like to connect with my doctor, but he's on Skype, I'm on Zoom, or I'm on Uvu, or I'm on video, or I'm on FaceTime, whatever. How do you get a community standard so we can engage now? This creates a community standard, okay? And then we also have an enhanced technology to support all of these things. So we've created the tool set for a video-based call center so that you can be face-to-face with customer support. And they can bring up documents and help you or guide you or do for you. So if I forgot how to have a video call with 3 grandkids, they can help set up the call. They can look me in the eye and say, Joel, how can I help you? And I tell them what I want. They can do that and then drop off the call. That same tool set we're making available to all of the organizations that we're working with, whether it's a retailer that wants to be able to accept incoming video calls, or a law firm, or a church. Okay, so let me, I think I have to go back to here to do it, but let me show you just a couple of the screenshots. Oops, see, gotta do it there. I need tech support. But and I am a lot less technical than I used to be, I'll admit that.
All right, so I can...
Yeah, if you could. And I can use left and right here, I think, for this now, at least for now. Okay, so let me just show you the main menu. We won't have time to go through much of this, but it'll give you a feel for what it can do. There we go. Okay, so imagine this is on your phone, your Android phone or your iOS, Apple phone, or it's on your tablet, or later on your web. So our web interface is coming a little bit later. Okay. Up in the upper left-hand corner, you see the Start button. Wherever you are in the system, Start takes you back to the beginning. What we've tried to do is create a very usable user interface that is simple enough for people that don't understand technology, but also robust enough and not insulting to people that do. Okay. So Start always brings you back to the beginning. In the upper right-hand corner, there's a flag. You click on that, and you can select any of the languages you want for presentation. So right now we're supporting 8 languages, the 8 most common languages in Minnesota, including Hmong, Somali, Spanish, certainly. And just select the language you want. Everything changes to that. The center section, where it says My Favorites, Call, that's actually, with your finger, you can just smooth scroll left and right to all the major function areas of the system. Okay, healthcare, file storage, what we call a virtual file cabinet, where in the cloud you can store any of your personal documents, family photos, videos, safely, securely, and encrypted, and you can give access to people that want it. So I won't take you through all the functions, but lots of functions, many of them designed to engage you, to seduce you, if you will, into wanting to use this app on a regular basis. Because then, if I have a healthcare need, or I have some other, I need to deal with my accountant, whatever, I know how to use the system. It's already in my hands. I'm using it on a regular basis, and it's no different from how I use it to engage with family or friends. Okay? I can click into my church and watch live streaming. I can have a video visit with the clergy if they're willing to do that. We've set it up so that you can have multiple cameras in the sanctuary, for example, or in a classroom like this. And the user has control over what camera they're watching when they want to watch it. Okay, so we've made that really simple and easy. Down in the lower right-hand corner is the Assistance button. You click on that, and there's several kinds of help available, including talk to a person, a live person, Midwesterner, friendly person, Minnesota, Michigan kind of person that can help you. Okay. All right. Let's go back, if I can. I'm going to need your tech help again. You see where it says index, if you can? Yep. Click that. And then down in the lower right-hand corner, there's a back to the slides. There, yep. All right, and if we go back to the 1 million cups bottom one. Great, thanks, and I can move forward from here now. Okay, so that's a quick view of the super app, and there's a lot to it, and we're adding more all the time, and we can link to other kinds of systems so people can get there safely. So, for example, if I want to go to Caring Bridge, and I misspell Caring Bridge, I don't know if it's hyphenated, I don't know if it's 2 words, if it's .com, .org, whatever. If I type it wrong into a browser, I'm likely to get hijacked to someplace I don't want to be. Through the menus, people can get safely where they want to go, to our own functions or to external functions. And so now let me talk about the Community Partnership Program. Our model is to deploy this as a standard for a community. Okay? And in those 3 cities, Flint, Traverse City, and Gaylord, we are working with the mayor, the city managers, the city councils, the chambers of commerce, the tourism boards, the faith community, the healthcare organizations, the area agencies on aging. We're working at that leadership level in those communities to say this is good for your community and this is why we should work together to bring it out free of charge to every resident as well as all their friends and family anywhere. Okay? And in those 3 communities, I have a slide about this, but we're working with some funding that we've been given. We are setting this up with 25 organizations in each city so that we have the critical mass of participating organizations that people can connect to and engage with. Okay? So a platform that has a wide range of functions that can support a whole community. We did a pilot, the Otsego County Commission on Aging. One of our pilots was in Gaylord, Michigan, where we set up these 14 organizations. 5 churches, 2 funeral homes, the Historical Society, the United Way. All these organizations participated in the pilot, which started in 2015 under this predecessor company. Okay, we had a target of 300 end users within 6 months. That's what we were trying for. In 4 months, we wound up with 1,800 users because of the viral spread and the interest and the benefits of what we're doing. I won't dwell on this, but all these dots are area codes where there was a user because of Gaylord, somebody back in Gaylord, Michigan, a family member that wanted to connect with their family and friends all over the world. Okay. I mentioned that organizations can also use our call center capability for their own purposes. So here's an example. It's a mock-up of a Walgreens website where we've added onto their website a video chat with us now button. So you've all seen the text chat buttons, text chat with us now. We've taken this to the next level. Each organization can have video chat if they want to. And video just increases the bandwidth of communications. I can look and see who's nodding and if they're confused or if they understand, and I can adjust the presentation as needed. Much better than phone or text chat. And wrapping up here, this is a little bit about what we're doing in Michigan. The funding came from the Michigan Health Endowment Fund, a wonderful organization that is helping to promote healthy aging and healthy living across Michigan. It's a 2-year initial program, 3 communities, the 3 that I mentioned, and as I also mentioned, 75 organizations, 25 in each community, will be able to participate free of charge in this program, and they'll be able to use all the tools of the platform to engage with the people that they support. We are targeting by the end of the second year 5,000 end users as a result of that. We anticipate 28,000 at the end of year 6, okay. Just from those 3 communities. And it's intended to improve the quality of life, the vitality, the vibrancy of the people and the organizations in the community, a community solution. To give you an idea, as we've been meeting with these leaders in the community, we've given them suggestions. You know, of the 25 organizations that can participate in your community, we'd suggest a broad mix, and here's the categories and quantities that we're suggesting. They, of course, are tailoring it to their own community. Each community is different. We've really learned that. And I will just briefly say that of these 3 major areas of trend of change, sorry. It's not going to go back. Oh, there we go. Oh.
Up or down?
I think I got one more back. Up. Well, let's go back. So, if I can. Okay. We're playing at the intersection. We're working at the intersection of these 3 major areas of trend, all of them under rapid change, a lot of impact for people, organizations around the world. We're working at the intersection, leveraging the technology and watching emerging technologies to say, how can we better help with the issues associated with the demographic changes and certainly the healthcare needs.
All right, so a round of applause for Joel.
Thank you.